Are you sliding the hips rather than rotating properly like this? Then I've got the perfect exercise for you. This video is all going to be about how to rotate the hips better in your backswing and your downswing to help you get open at impact. Make sure you check out this video. So what I actually demonstrated there in the first swing was two faults. And you may not have both of those, but my hips were sliding, as you would have seen, laterally in the backswing. This exercise is actually going to cure a lot of faults. So if you're sliding too much in the backswing or sliding too much on the through swing rather than rotating. And from the downline camera, you'll have seen that I had some early extension where my hips, my pelvis was moving forwards towards the ball. What does that do? It causes my spine to want to straighten, and often golfers are struggling with contact from there, quite often hitting them low out the bottom of the golf club. We also see some missed strikes in terms of the heel toe. So when the hips are going forwards, you'd expect the player to hit the ball out the heel. Their compensation often is their head going backwards or the handle going higher, and they may find the middle of the golf club, but they're going to struggle to do that consistently. So the exercise that you'll have seen me do there with the chair behind, I believe is one of the best ones for working on an overall hip movement. I was trying to turn the chair with my right hip on the backswing. So if my hip turns up and behind me as it should, the chair, the stall here is actually starting to turn in the opposite direction. So if you haven't got something like this that's going to spin and turn, the other thing you could do is put a gym Swiss ball, so a sit-up ball on the chair, on a garden chair, or even a beach ball. It needs to be wider than your hip, so a football perhaps doesn't quite work, but a ball on a chair would work, or anything you can put against your backside like the stall here. At worst case, even on the driving range, if you had your stand bag there, you could put your bag behind you. But I like it when you can turn or squash it, so the ball or the chair exercise is best for me. So I was trying to turn the right hip. You can see that's turned the chair. In the downswing, my pressure is then moving towards my lead foot and my hips are recentering. So they're starting to turn back to about where they were at setup. And you can see that has helped square effectively the chair. So now it is more parallel to my target line, back to where it was at setup. And then if my lead hip turns enough into the chair on the way through, I should be able to actually spin this chair in the opposite direction, away from the target, slightly to the right. So my whole thought there was just turn the chair on the way back, turn the chair on the way through, nothing else. And I just took the pace out of the swing, which is what I'd encourage you to do when you're doing a training exercise. So let's have one more go at that. I just want the chair to be resting against your backside, not pushing in too tight or too close. Normal setup, take the pace out of it and focus on the hip rotation. So you'll see from face on camera, my hip is moving up and behind me rather than swaying, sliding laterally. So it's a turning motion that is still applying force pressure towards my trail foot. I don't need to laterally move to apply pressure down to the ground through my trail foot. What we see with most elite golfers is by the time their lead arm is parallel to the floor, they hit their peak. They're about 80% loaded into their trail foot. And they're doing it from rotating, not from sliding. So turn that right hip. On the downswing, I'm just going to focus on turn the left hip into the chair. And again, you can see a controlled swing, two shots very much down my target line. But that's not the thing I'm really worried about when I'm doing this exercise. My whole focus is, did I manage to keep my backside on the chair? Yes, I've got to be able to do that at more speed, but start at a slower pace, build it up, really focus on that backswing. Now, look at where your fault lies first, because it may be that you just need to focus on the through movement and the backswing is pretty good, or vice versa. So your focus point would depend on your own swing. So it's always worth looking on video, I would encourage you to draw a line on your backside there and a line on your forehead, and from the face on camera I would draw a couple of lines on the outside edges of your legs, your hips, and just see that you rotate and you stay between those lines, and then from the downline camera, is your backside still on that line? Ideally we want to be able to maintain your spine angle. We do not want this loss of posture. So the chair drill is a fantastic exercise. How you can take it to the course is just that same feeling, I think, in a practice swing. My focus point is my trail hip, my right hip going up and behind me in the backswing. And on the downswing, I'm feeling the opposite, that my lead hip is going up and behind me. So there is rotation. Let's see if I can hit one. No chair there. Turning the hips, really focusing on getting open. So just putting that one back into a full pace movement. Rehearse the move before you hit. I wouldn't cloud up your mind with too many swing thoughts when you're doing that. But just doing some practices at home, doing the exercises, building up the pace, and then perhaps incorporating that movement into a practice swing before the actual swing is going to help you take that feel to the golf course. If that video has helped, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Share it with as many golfers as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the other content. Cheers guys, I'll see you next time.